Alright guys, I'm putting on my eyebrows and we're going to do a smoky eye and a nude lip. I'm going to do like a really extended smoky eye. Get ready for it. I'm so excited. Alright, when I do a smoky eye, I kind of like my brows to be a little extra fluffy and a little messy. Because when you get a smoky eye going on, it just all starts to look really harsh and really carved. So we're just leaving them like this. Super fluffy. Thanks. Alright, when I do a smoky eye, I kind of like my brows to be a little extra fluffy and a little messy. Because when you get a smoky eye going on, it just all starts to look really harsh and really carved. So we're just leaving them like this. Super fluffy. Thanks. 2 soap brows. Not sponsored, but good lord, I love this stuff. Super fluffy. I love them. Like, look at that. It's a good time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a paper towel or take something that's very soft, but I'm just going to make sure I have no product on my eye whatsoever. Just tap it and make sure it's really nice, and I don't want to say dry because it's like a negative word, but just make sure there's no excess product on it. We're going to start with a little bit of eye base because we're going to use a black eye base as well today. It's going to get spicy, but I'm going to start with 𝗕𝗿𝘂𝘀𝗵𝗲𝘀 shade number 2 and let it warm up. Okay, so now I'm going to take my base. I'm taking a completely dry blender and we'll just tap this all over my eyelid. You know, I've had these little veins in my eye since I was a little girl. I'm not really sure. I feel like a lot of people have them. I never minded them, but I just notice them every once in a while. Some days I don't notice them and sometimes I'm like, oh god. Alright, this is going to have the tones. This is it. Like, we're going to have these tones and then these tones. That's where we're at. It's going to get spicy. I'm so used to doing this, but for some reason I feel nervous. Like, y'all got me all sweating. It's you. Okay, I got it together and I said, you're Rose. You got this. It's what we should all do to ourselves. Alright, we're going to go into the shade here called Back Rolls. Something I fear also deeply. This is a Sigma E27, and we're going to take this and we're just going to tap it into the crease. Remember, most of this is tapping, and no, I did not set the eyeshadow base today at all. But that's why we're going to take our time and really, really tap the color in. And you can kind of see I already have it shaped over there, and we're going to take this eyeshadow look and really go out and wing it out. Okay, we're taking the same shade, Back Rolls, and we're going to start to map this out. Remember, this is going to be a really smoked out, but we're using the brown first because I got a trick up my sleeve here, y'all. We want it to be really cat eye shaped. Don't worry about under here. We'll come back and clean that up in a second, but really just focus on connecting this and really winging it out. Hey guys, so I'm really getting into podcasts. Tell me your favorite like beauty lifestyle podcasts. Tell me right here. I'm gonna look some up. I really appreciate it. Now I'm gonna take a Smith 247, very small, very tapered, like a MAC 217, but even smaller. That's why I love it. I'm going into this shade called the Supreme. Everybody get close on this one. You ready? All right, get all the way in there. I'm gonna get you in some more. Going into that shade. I'm gonna start right here in the center. And I'm going to use the smallest of circular motions and just make sure that this dark brown is really nice and smooth. Notice that I'm never going back and forth. You'll hardly ever see me go back and forth. We can even blend it over here because we'll melt it into our foundation in a second. Alright, are you ready to get spicy? Because this is about the spice. I'm going to grab my 𝗕𝗿𝘂𝘂𝘀𝗵𝗲𝘀 Batter Black, and the same technique, I'm going to put it on the back of my hand. We only need that much, okay? Let it warm up. Alright, so I'm going to grab the brush that actually goes with it, and we're going right in. And we're going to cover the rest of our lid with a very thin layer. And we're going to take it all the way up. Don't be afraid of this. This is the fun part. This is where it gets spicy. Take it all the way over there and make sure you go all the way in your lash line. And make sure it's more of a thin layer. Alright, I'm going to take a Smith 256. I absolutely adore this brush. Everyone go get this brush. I use it endlessly. I'm going into the black shade here called Beast. I'm gonna start in the center and we're gonna tap this on top until all of that base is fully coated. So take it all the way into the crease. So now I don't have anything on this brush, just whatever's left, and I'm actually gonna just wipe it off just a touch. This is the 𝗕𝗿𝘂𝘀𝗵𝗲𝘀, and we're just gonna make sure it's nice and smoked out. It has a really pretty transition here. I'm going to make sure it's really nice and catty on the outer. Look how pretty that is. We're going to add some liner as well too. Now we're just going to go over our lash line with this cream gel liner in Swerve. It is Swerve, right? Yeah, same as the color. And I'm just going to throw this all in my lash line and make sure it's super smoky. Make sure you use my code ROSE for a discount on that ColourPop. Alright, let's put on some mascara. Look what I got. I got a fresh mascara from ColourPop. I love this mascara. Even though I'm going to add lashes, it just adds so much volume. It's one of my faves. Alright, now I'm going to take a wet wipe and make sure we don't have any fallout, which surprisingly we have like hardly any. Just a little bit. Okay, and then we're also going to take it and I'm just going to go right underneath here. I'm not going to go wild because we're still going to kind of make it connect to our bottom lash line once we get our foundation on, but I'm just going to take it like that. There we go. So instead of layering on a ton of foundation with a smoky eye, I kind of want to color correct first. So I'm going to grab this Smith & Cult, it's called Diffuse Redness Balancing Primer. So we're going to use that. It's really good. That way we'll use less foundation and look less cakey. Because when you have on a lot of foundation with a lot of eye makeup, sometimes it's hard to balance it. Now we're going to do these big, fluffy, gorgeous lashes from Lava Lashes. This is in the style Mischief, which I cannot say because I'm too excited to get them on. Ooh! We needed these big old lashes because it's so much black, but this looks so good. I'm going to use my favorite foundation today. I haven't used it. I've been trying to switch it up. I never want you guys to think I'm using something too much. So, but it's really my favorite. I'm just going to shake it up really, really good. So I've gotten pretty tan around this area, so I had to mix my colors. This one is 300 Sand, so we'll just use a little bit of that. 200 Beige still works, but I have to bronze it a little bit more heavy. So I just went out and got 2 shades. I always love mixing foundations. You'd be surprised. You just get such a better match when you do that. So then we'll just pop that through there. There we go. Alright, then we're going to grab our Smith 151 and melt this into the skin. There's never been a foundation that just melts into the skin like this one does. I will say the fragrance on it is pretty heavy, so if fragrance bothers you, that's not going to be a go for you. But if not, it's so, so pretty. Look at that. Like, perfect. Just kills me. I love it. We're going to get spicy. We're going to go ahead and bronze before we do our concealer. That way our concealer can really shape our face. We're taking Huda Tan Tour in the shade Light today. Medium was too far away. So we're just going to pop that through here. And this brush is also from Huda. It goes with the Tan Tour. You guys know the normal placement. And then, of course, down the neck. We're going in with the bronzer today. Then we'll take the larger end of the brush. I look so frightening. I cannot wait for you guys to see this come together. We'll just take the larger end, though, and start to blend it down. Look how pretty that blends out, though. Just go around in circular motions, and then I'm not done there, so I'm thinking I'm done. But I wanted to show you guys that I push up with the bronzer. And then we're going to push this into the hairline. It just melts right in. And then that's when the concealer is going to come in and really shape our face. Alright, let's get this face snatched, because right now we look a little scary. You see what a big difference concealer makes, even through here? Oh, Lord help us. I'm going to grab my Kylie concealer, my Ride or Die, and I'm going to go pretty heavy today with just my concealer, since we went lighter with our foundation. So you guys know the usual spots. We'll put on Gypsum, which is the lighter shade that I use to highlight with. And it's actually more pink in person. My lights make it look a little more yellow. It's not. And then a little on the forehead. And I'm not going to put it down my nose because we'll just use whatever's on the blender. But there's gypsum. And then we'll take 𝗕𝗿𝘂𝘂𝘀𝗵𝗲𝘀, which has berry peach undertones, peachy pink. And we're going to just color correct with that. This is going to help better with the shadows. So we'll put it there. And then today we're even just going to put a little bit underneath there. Just a touch. Nothing too spicy. Now we're going to melt all this in. All right, let's melt this in and get our face looking spicy again. Take this all the way up. Look at the difference. Like, it just adds so much smoothness to our look. Don't worry about going too far up with that. Like I said, we're still going to smoke out that shadow. So don't worry about taking it too far over there. Bring that life back. And then we'll go underneath here. And we'll come back to that. We're not going to set that without blending. Now today we're going to bake because we're still going to finish underneath our eye and we can't have any fallout. But I'm going to grab my 𝗕𝗿𝘂𝘁𝗍 soft pink powder. And my blender is damp right now. I do this dry or damp. It really doesn't matter to me. So just pop that right through there. Same thing on this side. And just make sure you're really pressing it in. That's going to help with any kind of creasing. I'm going to go ahead and set the rest of my face with my 𝗕𝗿𝘂𝘁𝗍𝑚𝗂 Cosmetics setting powder. I'm just going to tap this everywhere else. I use the shade medium. I just love it. It looks like nothing's there, but then when you go to put your bronzer on, it doesn't smudge and mess up. Okay, now for the fun part, let's finish underneath our eyes. I'm taking Swerve again from ColourPop. We're just going to go ahead and connect it. And I'm going to bring it all the way across. This is a very rare occasion, you guys, when I take it all the way across like this. You know Rose is up to something. So I'm not taking it too far out of the lash line because we don't want it way underneath here because we're still going to smoke it out. So take your time. So I don't have anything on my MAC 228 and I'm just running it along here and smoothing that liner out. It'll kind of do the blending for you. It's easier to do when I can just look up. And then just melt it over through here and make sure it's nice and connected over here. Alright, so now we're going to go back into back rolls, and I'm using a Sigma E42. Focus it on the center, and then we'll just start to blend this out ever so lightly, and then we're going to flick it out this way. Packages? Getting more packages. And then we'll blend and blend and blend. So this is where I'm going to look straight into the mirror or phone. And I'm taking that same Sigma brush and I'm starting here and I'm looking straight and I'm just really winging that bad boy out. So I just tend to turn sideways to make sure it's looking good, looking real spicy. This reminds me of a picture that's been on Pinterest for like 100 million years. It was like one of the reasons I got into makeup. I want to find it and post it on here. But this look totally reminds me of that. Alright, now I'm going to grab my favorite powder for baking through here. This is Sahara, the shade Sahara. This is Juvia's Place I Am Magic powder. And you guys know I've just been doing this nonstop. And it's just such a beautiful shade to go underneath here. I'm really enjoying this right now. We're so extra today. I love it. I'm going to grab Toasty and I'm going to grab a smaller brush. This is a Smith 131. And I'm really just going to focus that bronzer way back here. Just to kind of give us a little more dimension. Color temperature on my phone's playing me right now, making me look like some kind of wild banana in pajamas. And then I'm just going to throw this through here. This adds a little bit more dimension. Now we're going to dust off the bake. I'm going to grab a Smith 130 and just kind of dust this, and it's kind of working it into the skin as I'm doing this. That way we don't have any harsh lines. There's a ruckus going on outside. I feel like there's always a ruckus going on, and I live in the quietest neighborhood ever, but sometimes I'm just doing my makeup, I look up and there's a ruckus. I got some new stuff from ColourPop. This is the Above and Beyond Blush. 𝗕𝗿𝘂𝘀𝗵𝗲𝘀 French Boutique Blush Brush. And we're just gonna put this on. It's really pretty. I had these before the hurricane, and then I lost them all in the hurricane. So I'm so excited to have them back. And then a little across there, a little across the nose, and then of course the chin. So pretty. We have a new inner corner color. It's called Birthday Wish from ColourPop. I'm so excited. I'm using a MAC 228. And we're just gonna pop this on our inner corner. Just a little bit. This one has a little bit of pink reflex in it too. Look how pretty that is. It just kind of wakes up the whole look. I'm gonna try and keep it tame and like right in there, and then it's not gonna happen because I'm Rose. ColourPop, I need you to bring back the BFF lip liner because it was my jam and I'm heartbroken. Look how tiny this is. This is a nightmare. We're gonna do the ColourPop liquid lip in the shade Sunny Side. Really pretty nude. We are brownie peachy nude today. It's like my favorite color to wear with a really harsh smoky eye. Notice I didn't press my lips together. That always messes up my lipstick when I do that, and then it doesn't last as long. And then this literally just got dropped on my doorstep. These are new glosses from Revlon. This is the shade Lean In. It kind of reminds me of MAC Oyster Girl. So we'll pop this on. Favorite highlighters when I use highlighters. This is from 𝗕𝗿𝘂𝘂𝘀𝗵𝗲𝘀. It's the Face Glow in the shade Goldie. And I'm gonna grab my Smith 112. That's not it. I played myself. Hang on. All right, we got my favorite highlighter here. One of my faves. It really is. It's so, so beautiful. This is Goldie from 𝗕𝗿𝘂𝘂𝘀𝗵𝗲𝘀. And it just always looks like wet skin. And it never leaves like a bruise look when you look straight on. Code ROSE for a discount on this as well. Seriously, it's so pretty. They have one for lighter skin tones too. I think it's called Luster. Either way, they're just incredibly smooth, amazing highlighters. Do you know what I just realized? I didn't have my little stellar light on the whole time, and I was wondering why my light was terrible. Look, you see the difference? That's without my little ring light. We all need this little stellar light right here. It's the best. Okay, now let's just redo the whole tutorial. Let's take this all off and start over. I wanted my light. Okay, we are done. I'm gonna go get my pictures. All videos. This is pretty spicy. This beautiful scarf right here is from White Fox Boutique, so make sure you check them out and go get it. As always, I had such a good time getting ready with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you learned some smoky eye tricks. Look at that. That is nice. That is spicy. That's what we need. All right, here we are. Natural light, no filter. That's pretty spicy.